Euro 2024 is well underway, with the group stages having some absolute crackers so far.
Clearance, right on cue, Stanchu, 1-0!
With the 24 teams split across 6 groups, success is often defined by your luck of the draw on the road to a final. So we decided to throw all 24 qualified teams into a full league season on FM24. With every team playing each other home and away, each nation would have to rely on the full depth of their squad to meet the challenges of a 9-month season. We've created each nation as a club using Football Manager's pre-game editor, along with a new Euros league set in home nation Germany. Even though each nation will technically be based in Germany, real-life national stadiums will be used as home grounds. All squads are an exact match to their real-life counterparts, along with managers and captains. The only randomly generated staff are the boardroom.
Who the fuck is that guy?
According to the bookies, England are 9-4 favourites. Player for player, especially on Football Manager, they probably do have the highest ratings overall. But with Southgate in charge, well...
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
France are up there as well, essentially neck and neck with the English. Home nation Germany are predicted 4th. Not surprising when you look at that predicted lineup. Maybe Nagelsmann will bring a surprise or two. Further down, Croatia are predicted 9th. A surprise considering how good their players are on Football Manager. And poor old Georgia sit a predicted 24th out of 24 at 2,000 to 1. I do expect we'll see a fair few batterings over the course of this season. Overall, August saw some crazy results and individual performances. England smashed Croatia 6-0. The Dutch bashed the Deutsch. And France won away at rivals Portugal 2-1. But nobody impressed more than the Polish power. Conceding just 1 goal and scoring 9 in 3 games, Poland led the table, with Lewandowski on a crazy 8 goals already. With 3 games down, it's time to look at how some of the teams have lined up. But first, thank you ever so much for watching. Please do let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the whole thing, who's going to get top goal scorer, what nation's going to score the most goals, who's going to get the best player. Do leave a like if you enjoy this type of content, and if you're feeling extra fruity, consider subscribing if you haven't already. Helps the channel out a lot, only takes 5 seconds, and it helps get the video out to even more eyeballs. So thank you again. And let's get back to it. Southgate's copied his real-life counterpart by going with Trent and Rice at centre mid, but Jude and Foden have swapped. Perhaps both are in a free role considering he's starting 3 centre-backs plus Walker at the back. The Germans are looking a bit odd, but this could be due to the injuries they've picked up to Wirtz and Sane early doors. France have stuck Mbappe out wide so far, with the veteran Giroud up top. Table toppers Poland are in a 4-2-3-1. I smell a cheeky gegenpress working well for them so far. 6 games apiece in September. England welcome British rivals Scotland to Wembley, with Jude scoring a memorable hat-trick. Romania shocked Belgium. Turkey cooked Portugal.
He got cooked!
And a Morata hat-trick downs the Germans. The most consequential clash was between 3rd place France and table toppers Poland. A Griezmann tap-in enough to see Le Blues come out on top. Poland followed that up with a loss at home to Turkey, meaning the table had swung yet again come the end of the month. France now led the way, staying unbeaten. Joining them was another surprise package, Vincenzo Montella's Turkey showing a real team cohesion so far, with big wins over Belgium and Portugal. England are down to 3rd, suffering their first loss away to Ronaldo-led Portugal. Host Germany have been disappointing so far, sitting down in 15th, with fellow high-ranking nations Croatia, Spain and the Dutch also causing riots back at home. Poor Czech Republic prop up the table with just a single win. Just 2 games in October meant the key games were Turkey versus France and Portugal versus Germany. Turkey pulled off their greatest trick yet, as wonder kid Samir scored the only goal of the game to send them top. Meanwhile, Germany finally showed up in a 5-1 demolition of Portugal. With Turkey top, England and France were the only teams keeping pace, sitting a point behind. Austria and Poland were still having good showings, with Lewandowski still being the best player so far. Desperate times for the Dutch down south though, Koeman surely soon to be on the chopping block. Croatia, also underperforming, wasted no time removing Dalic from his role. Please do let me know in the comments who you think is going to still have a job come the end of May. November started a run of managerial sackings before a loss to Switzerland finally saw Koeman's tenure come to an end for the Netherlands. What? Mbappe was doing Mbappe things for France, but a draw away to Italy as well as 2 draws for Turkey meant England sat top by 2 points heading into the biggest game of the season so far. Captain Mbappe proved the difference, scoring a quick turnover to send France top going into December. A loss at home to Italy meant the Turks couldn't capitalise on England's dropped points. The Germans were trying to make up for an awful start, having won 6 in a row to get into the top 4. The Czechs were now off the bottom. Not a surprise considering their new manager.
I think I'm a special one.
Just 3 games apiece again in December, but some crucial games nonetheless. Harry Kane missed another big penalty as England drew 0-0 at home to Turkey. France then dropped points at home to informed Germany, followed by another draw in Amsterdam to resurgent Netherlands. England now sat top by a point, but with inconsistent performances from nearly every nation, I feel like there's going to be a fair few more twists and turns come the new year. January would be the busiest month of the season. The top 3 all secured big wins early on, Turkey in particular looking spectacular away in Croatia. Elsewhere in the league, Albania and Serbia played out a cracker, whilst poor old Slovakia stayed divisional whipping boys away to Hungary. Host Germany could feel slightly annoyed as they were still no closer to top spot, even after extending their unbeaten run to 13 with a 2-0 win over Italy. They could cause extreme damage to rivals England though, as the two met in the game of the month at Wembley. England had lost Harry Kane to injury just before the game, and they missed his finishing as the game ended 1-1. France, meanwhile, won 8-0. Very ominous signs for the now chasing pack. The rest of the month saw the Netherlands start to slip again, Kane make an outrageous injury comeback, and Lewa continue his scoring dominance.
Lewandowski.
And then, on the last game day of the month, Portugal shocked Europe with a 1-0 away win in Paris. With salt rubbed into the wound with news Mbappe was to miss 4 to 6 weeks injured. England were held at home by Spain before Turkey claimed another scalp with a 2-0 win away against Belgium. France stayed top on goal difference. Germany will also be thinking they have an outside chance. Belgium's loss also saw Domenico Tedesco lose his job, the Red Devils having a shocking season down in 13th. Portugal took more points off the challengers, drawing 2-2 with Turkey to start off February. Germany's slim chances also took a hit away in Glasgow, losing 2-1 to Scotland.
I've got a turtle head poking out.
Before an Mbappe-less France played out an absolute banger with Poland, but saw even more injuries hit their squad. Poor old Croatia continued a dismal season, losing at home to Spain for their 15th loss of the season. England dropped points away to a now Roberto De Zerbi-led Belgium, before being up next for Portugal's Dream Destroyers, drawing arguably the worst game of the season 0-0. The month ended with the table starting to look somewhat like the predictions, apart from second place Turkey. Being led by Yilmaz having a career best season, they are only 3 points off the top and play France next. With the game 0-0 heading into the last 15 minutes, Marcus Thuram broke Turkish hearts to put France 4 points clear. A lead that only lasted for a week, as France failed to score in a score draw in Romania. England had spanked Georgia 3-0, whilst Turkey had another Cenk Tosun goal to thank for an impressive 2-1 win in Kiev. 4 points now separated the top 3. Elsewhere, Germany continued to be best of the rest with a 1-0 home win versus Portugal. Jose Mourinho had his Czech side smash and grab a 2-2 draw against England to hand France back the momentum to end the month, as Le Blues banged Italy 4-0. France went into April 4 points ahead of second place England, but knew they had both them and Germany away to come. England, meanwhile, had Turkey away immediately after the French game. Harry Kane thought he had buried his French penalty pain with 2 early penalties against France, but France fought back to tie 2-2. In Italy, Yilmaz and co battled to an incredible 3-2 win. The two then met each other in Istanbul, and with France at home to Albania, both knew a win was needed to stay in touch. In an incredible back and forth game, including a banger from Jude Bellingham, the two drew 3-3. France back in the driving seat. Up next for Deschamps' men was a trip to Berlin, still with an outside shot of winning the whole thing. An outside shot indeed, as they survived a red card to win 1-0. England then dropped points in Austria to start up the Southgate out brigade.
Worse than prime Stoke.
Whilst France bounced back with a nasty 6-1 win against the Dutch. Fourth place Germany took their momentum to Turkey, with the rivals settling for a 2-2 draw. All hope was now on France to drop the ball. And drop the ball they did, as Spain rocked up to Paris in form, catching a sleeping French defence cold to win 2-0. Turkey's home draw to Croatia softened the blow, but Germany's win meant they now stood just 4 points off top with 3 to play. Down south, Slovakia and Slovenia were in a shootout to avoid the embarrassment of being rock bottom. With just 3 games left to play, it's time to look at the finer details for this title run-in. France have a 2-point buffer to Turkey, but a much better goal difference. England in third, the only other team to score over 100 goals. French fixtures had them as strong favourites over the last 3 games, but with 2 away ties, you just never know in Europe. Turkey, meanwhile, had the big test of winning away in Madrid. England and Germany knew they'd have to meet on the final day. Could either of them still be in the title race by then? The race for the Golden Boot was actually closer than the title race, believe it or not. With Lewandowski and Mbappe neck and neck on 29, Kane was 1 behind on 28. Italian striker Scamacca had an outside chance, sitting 4 behind on 25. And a shout out to Mikuradze, sorry if I pronounced that very wrong, from Georgia too. 18 goals for 20 of Georgia, being very impressive. England and Germany both won comfortably, with Kane missing a penalty to take the top scorer spot. France dispatched Scotland in Glasgow, but lost Saliba to injury late on. Meanwhile, in Madrid, Cenk Tosun put on his Leo Messi mask to score this outrageous winner as Turkey won 1-0. Heading into the penultimate game, France knew they'd be crowned Euro kings with a win if Turkey dropped points. England and Germany, meanwhile, both knew France had to drop points if either of them were to stay in the hunt. The pressure told though, as a late Kolo Muani goal saved France a point at home to the hard-working Hungarians. The Germans, unfortunately, could not beat a second-half comeback from Italy in Rome, ending their dream of a home nation win. Yilmaz further etched his name into Turkish legend, scoring the winner versus Scotland to move Turkey level on points with the French. At Wembley, Jude Bellingham scored twice as England won 4-0 easily. 2 points separated first from third heading into the final day. France went away to Slovenia, but the Slovenians had their own battle with Slovakia to avoid the embarrassment of a last place finish. Turkey travelled to Budapest, hoping Hungary's draw in Paris was just a one-off, whilst old rivalries were renewed in Berlin. France were 0-0 at half-time, Slovenia having played brilliantly so far. It was a similar case in Berlin, with the game between Germany and England deadlocked. Nagelsmann showed his superiority over Southgate at half-time though, motivating the team to break English hearts from kick-off, before youngster Kobe Mino ruined his life with the worst pass-back you'll ever see. At the Puskás Arena in Budapest, Turkey, buoyed by the news of the French currently drawing, played out an absolute barnstormer. Having conceded an 87th minute equaliser, Mulder unleashed a rocket in injury time to see Turkish fans go into pandemonium. Could Slovenia hold on in Ljubljana? However, with time ticking away, France turned up the pressure, and with Mbappe having a stinker, PSG teammate Kolo Muani stepped up to score 2 quick-fire goals. The French had done it. Just. Finishing level on points with Turkey, both the head-to-head and goal difference meant they had retained their Euro crown. Scoring 113 goals over the competition, their sheer strength and depth always gave them an advantage. Whilst Turkey would have to lick their wounds and come again next time, they could be proud of what their team accomplished. Germany got a small consolation of topping England, but must have been thinking back to their awful start and what could have been. Lewandowski ended up with the golden ball, whilst France captain Mbappe claimed best player. More pain for England, as Southgate returns home to wonder just what on earth was he thinking, sticking Jude out wide. Maybe next time it will come home, eh?